Daniel grew up in a quiet rural place where life moved slowly and dreams stayed small. No one told Daniel to stop dreaming, and no one showed him how to dream bigger. Every day looked the same. Same work, same paths, same survival. Around him, people believed life was something to endure, not something to design. As a child, Daniel felt something restless, growing quietly inside his mind. He didn't have words for it yet, only a feeling that life could stretch further. But curiosity is dangerous in places built on routine and fear of change. When Daniel spoke about possibilities, people smiled politely and dismissed him. They told him to be practical, to stay realistic, to stay small. Slowly, Daniel learned that big thinking made others uncomfortable, so he began to hide those thoughts deep inside himself. But hidden dreams don't disappear. They wait patiently. Years passed, and the boy became a man, but the place stayed the same. Familiar roads still led to familiar endings. Comfort surrounded him, but it felt tighter every year. Inside, a quiet resistance began forming. Part of him wanted safety, another part wanted expansion. Fear wasn't loud. It was calm, logical, and convincing. He realized fear had been guiding most of his choices, and for the first time, Daniel questioned the limits in his own mind. That was the moment something inside Daniel shifted. A quiet determination began to grow. He asked himself a dangerous question. What if my thinking is the prison, not my circumstances? No one had locked him in. He had built the walls himself, brick by thought. And if thinking could imprison him, it could also set him free. That realization changed the way he approached every day. He began taking small steps toward bigger thinking. Not all at once, but consistently. He understood that action always comes after the courage to think differently. People continued to live comfortably around him, but he no longer felt their gravity. He remembered the farmer's words, often echoing quietly in his mind. Your life grows to the size of your thinking. So he promised himself that he would never shrink his thoughts again. Each day, his confidence grew as his actions began to match his vision. Thinking bigger didn't make life easier, but it made his direction clearer. One ordinary morning, an opportunity arrived, unexpected but timely. It wasn't luck. It was the product of preparation finally meeting opportunity. The opportunity was not perfect. It was just enough to begin something greater. Fear whispered again, urging him to stay where comfort felt safe. But growth never happens inside the comfort zone, and Daniel knew it. For the first time, he chose expansion over safety, even if the path was uncertain. Leaving wasn't easy, because roots grow deep in familiar soil, even when it limits you. But he carried the lessons, the strength, and the vision forward with him. Daniel realized that courage is not the absence of fear, but choosing to move forward despite it. Most people never fail because they are incapable. They fail because they never dared to think big enough to try. Small thinking is the real risk, because it silently steals potential over time. Thinking bigger gave his struggle a purpose and meaning, transforming hardship into fuel for growth. His mind expanded before his life ever did, and that shift changed everything. Each step forward now felt powerful, heavy with intent, but full of hope. He remembered every lesson, every struggle, every whispered doubt, and carried them as fuel. The fields that once felt like limits now felt like foundations to build something greater. He understood that big thinking is not about ego. It is about responsibility to one's own potential. Courage always begins with thought, and Daniel chose to think bigger every single day. No matter how small your town feels, your mind is always bigger than it. No matter how limited your resources seem, your vision is unlimited if you choose it. Comfort will ask you to stay, but growth will always ask you to move beyond it. And every meaningful life begins with that difficult choice to step forward anyway. Thinking bigger is not just motivation. It is a deliberate daily decision. A decision to stop living below your capacity and start expanding your potential. Your dreams are valid, even if no one around you yet understands them. Your background does not define your future unless you allow it to. Small beginnings are not weaknesses. They are preparation grounds for greatness. Big thinking turns ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys when acted upon. Daniel realized that thinking bigger was not a one-time act, but a mindset he would carry every day. Every choice, every step became intentional toward growth rather than comfort. The shift started in his mind and slowly transformed his life in ways others could hardly imagine. Not his money, not his location, not other people's opinions. Only his thoughts shaped his possibilities. If you feel stuck, it's not because you are incapable. It's because your thinking hasn't expanded to match your potential yet. Your dreams don't need permission from others to exist. They only need your commitment to nurture them and act on them. Big thinking is about responsibility to yourself and your future. Small towns and limited resources can never contain an unlimited mind. Courage begins with thought, and Daniel chose to cultivate courage daily. Every meaningful life begins with difficult choices, and he embraced them all. Thinking bigger is a decision, a commitment, and an action taken repeatedly. It is a decision to stop living below your own potential. Your dreams are valid, even if no one around you yet understands them. Your background does not define your future unless you allow it to. Small beginnings are not weaknesses. They are preparation grounds for greatness. Big thinking turns ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys when acted upon. Start where you are, with the thoughts you choose today. Build your mind before you try to build your life, because it determines everything. The power to change your life is always within your own mind. Each thought you feed yourself determines the path you will walk. Strength grows when your mind chooses courage over comfort repeatedly. This is the Mindset Citadel, where strong minds are built and dreams become reality.